This is the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. The final game of the regular season sees the already unbeaten San Jose Flight try and close out the regular season with their 8th and final victory of the season over Albuquerque, who are coming into today's ball game with a 4-game winning streak after dropping their first 3. Both teams are in the playoffs. San Jose, the number 1 seed, due to a couple of results going on in the earlier block. Albuquerque has officially clinched the number 3 seed. So tonight, Brett Killian, partner, A, it's great to have you back in the booth, but B, this is all about game tape for the draft here next week.
Yeah, everything about game tape for both these teams here and preparation for the upcoming playoffs. For us, we have to be thinking to ourselves, hashtag Sipe Watch at this point, because Jordan Sipe has 17 touchdowns right now, and he needs 3 to break the most passing touchdowns in an SFLm season held by my new boy, Christian Brown. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for San Jose and Albuquerque if they can keep that winning streak alive heading into this playoffs.
Thanks, Brett Killian. Just in case you missed it, I'm Tyler Falk. Glad to have you with us here this Thursday evening for SFLm action. And Christian Brown, that's the big story out of Vancouver. No more Tom Pepper. Christian Brown comes in. And who will join the SFL ranks in 2 weeks? We'll find out later tonight. Let's find out if San Jose can go through the regular season unbeaten. As here we go, they're going to kick it off to Albuquerque to begin the game here in New Mexico. As here we go, we are underway is south of the continental United States. Good return, really good return actually from Ed Williams all the way to the 35-yard line. Found a little space there on the near sideline and he exploited it as Trellis Blanton and company come onto the field for Albuquerque.
Yeah, and Trellis Blanton's been doing a pretty decent job as of recently here. He's getting close to matching his passing touchdown to interception marker, which was a little bit shaky during the first couple of games. Has evened it up now, but over 1,200 yards, getting close to 1,300. Not too bad for this gunslinger.
Looks like they're going to start out throwing as we have an early penalty on the play. Who pass over the middle. Nice catch from Anas Adobe, the two-way player out of Atlanta, as San Jose will have an early penalty as one of their D linemen, Matt Footy, the defensive end there on the near side, jumped a little too early.
Yeah, and that penalty won't matter too much as they go gunslinging right away from the get-go. First play right to basically, I would say, one of their top receivers in the SFLm, and Honus Adobe, who had plenty of time getting some footballs thrown from Bryant Dynasty. So he developed a little bit through the SFL season and brought it to the Albuquerque Adams here in this SFLm season.
One play, one first down for the gunslinger Trellis Blanton and the Albuquerque Adams. This second play of the drive will already be in San Jose territory. Go back to the air with Blanton. He's going to try and find an out route left side. Cut by TT Crystal, another two-way player. TT is out of Mexico City as we introduce you to the rest of the Adams offense. Blue Scott is the tailback with Chuck Steller at fullback. Honest Adobe, Ed Williams, and TT Crystal make up that wide receiving core. Craig Westlake is the tight end, and leading the offensive lineman in the trenches is Phoebe Collins. Tight end flexed off to the right side with a 4-3 look in an I formation. Handoff through the middle. Blue makes a nice little spin move, and she's going to get the first down for San Jose 36.
Yeah, Beluska has seen a lot of action so far throughout this SFLm season, as he has 156 carries coming into this matchup here, which is just one behind joint first place holders Randy Squarebush and Christian Pierce, who is in the other game right now, currently tied 7-7. So right now, Beluska doing his job getting that first down.
Pierce's touchdown is how we see a 7-7 ball game going on, also on SFL YouTube. Handoff Scott near side. Follow the blockers nicely and picks up 5 yards before being wrapped up and thrown to the turf by the defensive lineman Stan Diamond.
Yeah, and outside runs are going to really help you determine what kind of running back certain prospects are. As for Baloo Scott, I really see a lot of Phoenix Jones in him as he really decides where he goes and tries to read the defense.
For wide empty backfield, and Blanton will be under center. Takes a quick 2-step drop, looking over the middle. Nice pitch to catch the tight end, Westlake, and he spins upfield for extra yardage. Nice shifty move from the big 6'5", 245-pounder tight end.
Yeah, you don't see that too often from tight ends, especially in the SFLm, as he just shucked and jived his way to basically another 7 yards, pushing Albuquerque way into red zone territory and definitely making it a threatening first drive.
Threw out Phoenix Jones' name earlier. I say they got Mike Daggs there on the field. Flashback forward to the tight end as they go to a power I set here now, and they're going to try to throw out of it. Go to an out route near side to the lone wide receiver, Crystal, and Crystal will pick up 5 yards in the out route.
Yeah, and TT Crystal has been basically the main benefactor so far with the throws from Trellis Blanton here, as he comes in with 36 receptions and 4 touchdowns to his name, around the top 10 in the league in receiving yards as well. So he's had plenty of action through the 7 games.
Back to Craig Westlick. That was actually his first catch of his career. What a statement from the new tight end. As San Jose so blitz, they're going to run almost the exact same play. Little pitch and catch to the backfield. Scott will try and turn upfield, but met quickly by a host of flight. Byron King Moore leading the charge.
Yeah, it looked like Stan Diamond, the outside linebacker, was there as well, coming in from basically the middle of the field to stop and prevent that first down. So Albuquerque now with their first kind of big test in this game, 3rd and 2 situation. What you going to do?
Well, after spreading the field for a majority of the drive, they've gone to this heavy set,
Wow.
dump off over the middle, and that'll find the backup tight end, Rand Cullen, touchdown Adams.
And that was a prime example of why the Adams have won 4 in a row and have basically turned this season around, as very much spreading this love around Trellis Blanton has done throughout the 4 games. And this is a prime example of what that drive has done. Everyone touching the football, from the main players to your backups. It's just amazing what they did. Quick first score for Albuquerque.
On to attempt the extra point is Mickey Melilio. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good from Mickey, and it's 7-0. Adams, if you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations, as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Elio puts his boot to the ball, and we are back underway as San Jose start to return. Azariah Wade trying to make a good return, but unlike his counterpart, he can only muster about 25 yards. We've been talking about Jordan Sipe. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast there, partner. He's a couple touchdowns away from passing CB12 for the all-time SFLm TDs in a season.
I'm going to give you a quick correction there. It's now CB4 for Vancouver. Jordan Sipe, like you said, 17 touchdowns, needs 3 to break the marker.
Always changing here in the SFL. Pass over the middle is a good pitch and catch to get things going to DJ Bennett, two-way tight end out of Atlanta. And they're going to go right back into the huddle and hurry things up here, maybe to catch the Adams off guard here on defense.
Stole the words right out of my mouth.
Sipe again looking over the middle, and they try to go right back to the well with Bandit nothing doing, bobbled, nearly picked, and they're right back to it here on 3rd down.
Yeah, they're really making things a hustle for Albuquerque.
Same identical play. This time they try and target the wide receiver, Viper, and nothing doing. And it's a quick, like a speedy quick 3 and out.
Yeah, I didn't even look at my watch for that long, and all of a sudden the drive is over for San Jose, as they decide to go hurry up right away and try to get Albuquerque kind of in a misdirection. But the secondary did a very good job with staying with the receivers. It helped that the first catch was only a 8-yard gain, so they didn't have to move too much down the field. So if you're going to look to do a hurry up, you got to get bigger gains than just 8 yards.
I like the idea with going the hurry up, Brett. I think they might have just been in the wrong formation after the first play of the drive went for so well. Punt's on its way now, and on comes Williams to try and make another return. This time only about a couple yards this time of the punt return. He's taken down to the 32-yard line. If we were to measure that last drive, probably end up in about 20 seconds all told.
Yeah, about 20 to 30 seconds. Very, very quick. Very quick hurry up offense as well. Didn't take too much time off the play clock as well. So Albuquerque right back at it. Is this a good decision after getting such a great first drive from them, though?
See what happens. They spread the field again like they did last drive. 4 wide. Blanton in the gun. Nice little slant pattern over the middle. It's a big chunk of yards. 15, 16 yards. All told going to the wide receiver, Marcus Brody.
Yeah, and you can already tell just the difference between the two quarterbacks in this game alone here, as Jordan Sipe is looking to make quick throws here, whereas Trellis Blanton had enough time, good coverage from the offensive line, and just slung the football to an open receiver. Another quick first down for Albuquerque.
Something else to mention, Albuquerque's already scored more than half the points they scored last time they played the flight week 1, where they only were able to put up 13, where San Jose put up 44. Nice little dump off the tailback, couldn't gain enough momentum, and it's going to be a loss of maybe half a yard as Bryant James comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the first, I would say, successful defensive play from San Jose in this quarter here, finally getting a net 0 gain, and possibly you could say even half a yard of a loss from that ensuing play, maybe to push Albuquerque back from their momentum.
2nd and 10. Strong power eye. Quick drop here from Blanton. Under pressure. Tries to loft it. It's into coverage. It's still bobbled up on a couple of knees. And it finally pulls the turf. It looked like it was bobbing around in a popcorn machine.
Yeah, and it's again another one of those Trellis Blanton medium long throws that you see out of him. That's about the 12 to 13 yard throws. This time the linebackers kind of drew back a little bit as kind of extra help for the safeties down the middle, and it paid off for them as they got a big bobble, and there was about 6 or 7 players ready for the taking to grab that football. It just unfortunately fell to the ground.
Go back to this 4 wide receiver look here that went on first down, first play of this drive. Blanton steps into the pressure, steps into the pocket, rolls and fires, and he does just enough to throw that one away, makes the smart decision, and Albuquerque are going to have to punt.
Yeah, and that's a very gutsy decision made by Trellis Blanton to move to the same side where the pressure was coming on San Jose and just trying to avoid his tacklers just to throw that football away. And a lot of scouts are going to see that very tough cojones from him already in this game.
Punter for Albuquerque is Ralph Bennington as he gets that one away as San Jose send the pressure. And wisely, they're going to call for a fair catch at the 18-yard line. The SFL convention is coming to the Las Vegas Strip July 10th through the 12th. HyperX Esports Arena at the Luxor will host the season kickoff, featuring all 28 teams in action, live commentary throughout the day, every game on the big screens, and your chance to be introduced to the world as a football star. Room rates are just $80 per night stay. Visit www.simulationfl.net/convention for more information and reserve your room today. Ooh. And off to the right side goes nowhere. Hunted down into the backfield, and he goes nowhere.
Yeah, and it seemed like Jay-Z Bacon was just doomed from the start as he grabbed that football, as he had the one defender essentially right on his throat essentially, and he couldn't get anywhere to start off. 2-yard loss.
2nd and 12. They go with a bunch formation. Sight gonna look for a dump off near side. And a nice little shifty move, but then gets blown up. Does Bacon. He gets 4 yards and pays for it.
Yeah, and Don Fletcher throwing the heat at Jay-Z Bacon again, just having a rough time with these 2 plays here. Getting back to basically neutral ground and a little bit extra with that 4-yard gain. But again, San Jose kind of just not starting on the right foot here. They're going to go 5 wide, maybe spread things out on the offense.
Time package to counter the 5 wide set for Albuquerque. Pass over the middle. It is caught. What a catch! Threw that one into a very tight window, and somehow Viper's able to come up with it.
And we've seen that from Jordan Sipe over the last, I would say, 2 weeks as well, just being able to throw it in tight coverage, and Jay Viper being the man, just getting just open enough, getting his hands just open enough for Jordan Sipe to sling that football. What a laser from Sipe.
And up the right for Bacon, and so far the running game has not worked, as he goes backwards this time for 4 yards.
Yeah, that time is Jason Pierce there with the tackle with that linebacker rush. We're seeing a lot of run-stopping plays from Albuquerque here, really trying to stuff that offensive line and try to make it so that Bacon has no gap to run through. So great job from them so far.
All slant play over the middle, caught, and it's a good chunk of about 10 yards. It's Vern Zales coming up with the big grab.
Yeah, and that's kind of what San Jose needed after a negative play there, finally getting another net big gain here, again on that 5-out spread, which has worked twice out of 2 attempts so far. They've gotten completions, and they might be looking for this again with a multiple receiver set. They've got 3 out here with split backs.
Third down. Sipe looking underneath for his tailback, nothing doing. Geronimo Rivera, the fullback, can only get back to the line of scrimmage as Albuquerque have really shown up here in the last couple of weeks. They forced San Jose out on downs, but also last week they held Lincoln to a donut on the scoreboard.
And things are really helping from the aspect of the run stuff, where a team like Albuquerque, who only allows just a small amount of yards against, around 77 yards per game. So this is their go-to defense, and right now it's really working for them.
Called for a fair catch by Ed Williams at the 17-yard line. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Albuquerque has the lead 7-0. And what have you liked about Albuquerque so far here in this ball game, partner?
Well, it's really a good defense so far from Albuquerque. Like I said, that rush defense has shut down J.C. Bacon here, and Jordan Sipe has only gotten 2 completions so far out of the 2 drives. So the defense has done really well.
5-step drop from Blanton, floater over the middle, and that's caught by T.T. Crystal, and then immediately going out of their own red zone down to their own 40-yard line.
And speaking of things I like about Albuquerque is the offensive line for this Adams squad, giving plenty of time for Blanton to go through his progressions, find his open receivers, and this time it was, as you said, T.T. Crystal just getting wide open on that post down the middle and just getting a nice big gain. The safeties for San Jose need to be ready for that exposed spot between the linebackers and the safeties.
Play of the drive, another first down here for the Adams as they flex the tight end off to the left. And they'll go with a run left side for Blue Scott. Nothing doing. She's unable to get enough help from her blockers, and busting through the offensive line is Mike Wagoner.
Yeah, he's the fresh new signing there. 6'1", 350 pounds. That guy is a literal wall. No one can get past him if he gets his opportunities.
Old head coaches used to say, look at them hog mollies up front. You're looking at Wagoner is probably a prime example. Blanton looking for the corner route. That is caught and shifting out of a couple tackles as Adobe. A huge gain for the Adams as they cross the midfield stripe.
And it's always good to be ahead of your certain corners and safeties, but sometimes it's not too bad to be behind them as well, as you could see that it looks like Braylon King Moore was the guy on coverage, and he just happened to be a little bit too far away, about a yard or two too far away, and Blanton had enough time to throw that football and get a nice completion with a little extra yardage as well.
3 wide receivers this time as Blanton changes the play at the line. 5-step drop as San Jose send the blitz. They get it out in a hurry near side to Williams, and he turns out of bounds after picking up 8 yards. We introduce you to the rest of the San Jose defense. Greg Ward, Louis Negron, and Mike Wagoner are the linemen. Rob Foraker, Stan Diamond are the linebackers. Byron King Moore, Skinny Washington are the corners with Sam Blotner, Will Stern, Bryant James, and Savon Watson at the safety spots. Second and short now for Albuquerque on San Jose's 28. Go with a stretch play left side and a good lane for Blue Scott to run as Scott picks up the first down and gets the Adams into the red zone.
Yeah, and Blue Scott had two options to go with. He could either go up the gut a little bit, use his left guard and kind of guide him from there, or he could have went outside. But this time he goes inside, and it pays off for him as there was a good enough gap to get past the first down barrier and then some. And again, Albuquerque in the red zone, they need to take an opportunity here to try to blow this away early, so San Jose has an almost insurmountable deficit to get things going.
By formation here, first down from the 18-yard line. Goes to ISO up the middle. Scott breaking out of a tackle and finally corralled at the 12-yard line. Pick up a 7.
Yeah, and Albuquerque, not really known too much for their running game, only averages about 77 rushing yards per game. Their main benefactor has been the passing game as of recently, and Trellis Blanton, who's done all right so far. But Blue Scott's kind of shown himself here in this end of this first quarter for sure.
Westbrook goes back on the line as they try and run a trap with Scott. Nothing doing read expertly by the linebacker, Jeremy Toombs. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter, where Albuquerque lead 7-0. They're knocking on the door of the end zone once again. You're watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube, as we're just a few moments away from getting to the playoff. Tyler Falk, Brett Killian here in the booth. Cameron Irvine, producer and commissioner, back at SFL headquarters. Thanks for joining us here this Thursday evening on the final day of the regular season here in Season 5 of the SFLm. Albuquerque is on a third down here to begin the second quarter. Blanton's going to look for an out route near side. Caught and out of bounds. Goes the wide receiver, TT Crystal. And it's first and goal from the 6.
And Albuquerque's done a fantastic job changing levels of play here as San Jose decided to basically go prevent defense and take as many people as they can to the end zone and prevent a touchdown, which has left those short out routes open. That's just an easy first down.
Drive keeps going here, first and goal as they come out in a strong power I. They'll try and throw on first down. Hit as he throws is Blanton, as the pressure from up the middle from Luis Negron is good enough to force a bad throw.
Yeah, that's the first time that the San Jose defensive line have really applied great pressure to Trellis Blanton and finally get to him, as they've applied some pressure a few other times, but he's been left untouched. This time, he finally gets to the ground, but doesn't get the sack. It's just an incompletion.
That's been the bread and butter for San Jose's defense, is getting penetration through the middle, through that offensive line. 4 wide as Albuquerque spread the field in the red zone. Pass to the end zone. Touchdown, Albuquerque. Good pitch and catch to Brody, and Albuquerque has extended their lead.
Yeah, and that is probably one of the toughest catches that you can make in any football game, as Marcus Brody leaps and grabs the catch from Blanton, who just zings it forward and then immediately gets rocked right in the gut by Sam Blockner, the free safety, and he manages to hold onto that football, and that is a good touchdown. Arms in the air, says the referee. 13 to love.
With the extra point, if it's good, they will have outdone their week 1 total against these flight. Snap spot, Melelio's kick is up, and it is good. 14-zip. The hometown Adams have the lead. The SFL has partnered with Rare Drop and Rare Drop Sports to advance live events and distribution. Live and in-person championship weekends, rookie drafts, and community events are in the works. Visit raredrop.co for more info on what the company does in the gaming community, and follow Rare Drop Sports on Twitch at twitch.tv/rdsports. We're underway once again. Be 20 seconds into this second quarter, and the return by Way is only going to be able to get up to the 23-yard line. And so San Jose, well, after winning 7 straight to begin the season, as they try and close out with their 8th and the final win of the regular season, they look to be on the back foot.
Yeah, they're kind of a little bit shell-shocked here to start things off, especially the offensive side. We're so used to seeing just that dynamic offense. Like you said, the 44 against the last time they played Albuquerque.
Trap run through the middle. Bacon only able to get 1 yard. Wrapped up rather quickly by the middle linebacker, or excuse me, outside linebacker, Julian Rasmus, as we introduce you to the rest of the Adams defense. Neil Rivers is the lone star man that leads the defensive line at defensive tackle. Jason Peace, a Singletary are the linebackers. Liam Ryan, Don Fletcher are the corners, with Cody Holland, Jax Nuke, Jukin Jr., and Dante Grimm at the safety spots. Sipe gonna look to throw out route left side. Lots of room to run there on that sideline, and gets a good chunk of yards. And Viper will pick up about 15 to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that looked to be just a slight miscommunication from the Albuquerque defense as Jay Viper going on just a basic little 4-yard out route and finds himself wide open on that sideline. So there was nothing but daylight for him just to grab that first down alone. So he's going to get that run. He's going to get a quick first down and a sign of life finally from the San Jose offense.
Viper, the leading receiver coming into today's ball game for the Flight. He sits 5th in terms of all receivers in the league in yards with 570. A quick toss. Nice one-handed grab from Terrell Cooper, and that's an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, Terrell Cooper, the tallest option for Jordan Sipe here at 6'5", 235. He might have thrown a little bit too far ahead of him, but he still managed to use those long arms of him and managed to get it with one hand and make that a net positive of 8 yards.
Now Sipe will go into the gun with both of his backs to his left and right, Bacon and Rivera. Sipe as
Nice.
And the blitz. They get it over the middle, and it's going to be a late hit. DJ Bandit slid, may have been touched, and then just gets pummeled on Albuquerque's side of the field. Tack on 15.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen when you start diving for sliding players there, is that you're going to be way too late. And this time it was the instance of number 41. That's the free safety, Jax Nuke. Just a little bit too late on that diving attempt. And as he was already down by Dante Grimm, he was basically 3 yards behind. And that's what's going to happen there. Just it's very careless, very undisciplined kind of dive from him. So he's got to watch out, or else he might get benched for the rest of the game.
May that be the spark for San Jose to really fuel their fire as that comes a little bit chippy. Bacon through the middle, and Albuquerque still hitting pretty hard. Bacon able to fight his way forward for about 4 yards after the combined tackle of a couple of the defensive end, Moses Talloway, and outside linebacker Rasmus.
Yeah, and I don't think the run's working right now for San Jose. Albuquerque's setting all their linebackers down, especially on those first down plays. So I think first down they need to go pass, and maybe second down go for the run.
Wide, Sipe looks to throw, looking over the middle, caught way inside the 15-yard line down to the 12, and for the first time today, they're in the red zone.
Yeah, and this is what they kind of wanted there. Maybe you kind of foretold things by that late hit penalty, maybe sparking this San Jose team to really make a forward progression here. Finally in the red zone, this is Jordan Sipe's wheelhouse here. He can definitely get some damage out of this if he can throw accurately.
8 men in the box to try and counter this 2 tight end set. Handoff left side. There goes the fullback Rivera. Oh, he nearly broke into the house. That was. Oh, it's almost like he parted the neon green sea. There was no one who touched him for about 7 yards.
It's a textbook fullback misdirection play, right out of the old 80s playbooks that you see from a lot of the older teams that utilize the fullback. And Rivera was, again, no one touched him until at the 5-yard line.
Pretty tall fullback as they hand off to Bacon through the middle, makes a juke, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, San Jose.
Yeah, and would you believe that that's Jay-Z Bacon's 7th rushing touchdown this season? Sometimes you kind of forget that he is that dynamic receiver. He's only had 110 carries coming into this game, and he's gotten about 4 or 5 now. But now at his 7th touchdown here, he's going to be a prime player coming into next season for sure. He's progressed very well throughout this, and now finally getting a mark here for San Jose as they start climbing back.
Fort Worth happy to keep him back as they re-signed him earlier in this offseason. Had a pretty nice contract, I would say so. Myself, as the kick is up, and it is good. And it is a 14-7 ball game. San Jose will look to get us underway once again. And we are underway with about 7 minutes, 9 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And on a nice little return, and it gets blown up after a very nice return from Ed Williams. Gets it all the way to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to set up great position for Trellis Blanton here. And maybe this should be time for Albuquerque to use some more clock here. Try to shed a little bit off and try to get this San Jose defense tired and score another set of points in response to San Jose's successful drive here.
In the drive, Albuquerque will line up in a power I, and they're going to look to throw out of it. Pass over the middle, looking for the tight end. Nothing doing. Hit almost immediately as the ball touched his fingertips. Good, clean hit from Jeremy Toombs.
Yeah, and like you said, it was just great timing, knowing that the catch was going to happen, just finding him in that spot between the hip and that upper thigh there that sometimes can, for some reason, bobble balls loose as a receiver. I've had that hit a couple times, and it's knocked it out of my own hands. So I totally understand not fully catching the football.
Right side for Scott, nothing doing. They tried to run with that weak eye and ran toward the weak side, but Footy able to come up with the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like Mike Wagner was there with the joint tackle as well, as he got a little bit of action on Baloo Scott as well. So a very good job from this defensive line to start things off.
Third down. Blanton's going to look to throw. As time launches one over the middle, a nice catch for Honest Adobe at the 31-yard line.
And a big gain from Albuquerque here, as we see on the flip side, T to Queen absolutely demolishing the Lexington defense, just scoring here now, making it 20-13 for Tacoma as we update that score there, as it's big implications for Lexington. But a huge gain from Honus Adobe to push it, basically flipping the field for the Adams.
They have not been afraid to throw down the field, both on the far sides of the field and right down the middle. They have had great success throwing the football today, as that little dump-off pass goes nowhere, maybe gain of a half a yard to Ed Williams, and they're going to hustle back to the line. Just under 6 minutes to go. Blanton's going to look to throw, pass over the middle, wide open, gets beyond the first down marker and inside the 20-yard line. First down Albuquerque, and they're back to the line of scrimmage again.
And again, the corners are too far back, which is leading that open short gains.
Blanton's back to throw. Has time. Good protection. Looking for the corner.
Wow.
What a throw on a line, on a dime to Williams.
We were talking about hashtag Sipewatch here, but in all reality, this first half has all been hashtag Blanton Watch, as he has been throwing absolute dots to his receivers here. First off, again, great blocking by the offensive line. Secondly, great job from Blanton recognizing the full catch there as San Jose challenges this play. I'm not sure if that looked like a pretty good catch from my perspective, but nonetheless, what a great sequence from Albuquerque.
Well, with R62, we are going to go under the hood and take a closer look at the feet of Ed Williams, and it looked pretty cut and dry. Let's take another look. I think that's pretty cut and dry. A solid throw. Let's see what R62 has to say.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete.
And just like we thought, San Jose charged a timeout for trying to deny what was an excellent throw from Blanton, as it's now 20-7 Adams.
And that's a textbook corners end zone sideline catch made from Ed Williams, and him being somehow taller than me at 6'6", 230, managing to grab the catch. I am jealous of him. Where's my extra inch?
Lelio will go ahead and try and tack home the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up and good. 21-7. Adams have shown out in a big way here at home versus the unbeaten Flight.
Yeah, and that drive here, I was possibly suggesting maybe stretching the clock out. That was barely even 2 minutes, that drive, and they managed to get a touchdown. Just amazing work from this Albuquerque offense in this first half.
Elio will get us underway once again as Way is back deep to return at his own 3-yard line, looking to try and find a way. And
oh my gosh!
And luckily for the flight, they're able to recover. That was a scary situation. Could have made things bad for worse. Good hands from Kyle Perry to corral the loose ball.
If you were a San Jose fan, I think your heart just dropped all the way down to your small intestines at this point once you saw that fumble. Just when you see that after Albuquerque scores in 2 minutes after you get your own touchdown, it just seemed like doom and further doom, but luckily they keep the football.
Right in the box, try and counter the run for Bacon. Bacon able to eat some bacon and pile up a couple of yards.
Oh, that just makes me think I should get one of those bacon and eggers from Tim Hortons or maybe McDonald's. I'm not sure. I'm not craving bacon. We're talking too much about Jay-Z bacon. We're going to stop talking about bacon in general.
I want to talk about bacon, my friend. I'll get your answer here. We call it Canadian bacon here in the States. That or crispy. We'll get to that here in a second. Sipe back to throw over the middle into double coverage. Nothing doing. We're going to have to wait a little bit more on that bacon controversy as we go back to the line with San Jose. 3rd and 7 from the 25. Sipe, another quick drop. This time we're going to look for his tailback out of the backfield. Good pitch and catch for Rivera, and we'll just keep stalling the bacon content as we go back to the line. First down. New set of downs here for San Jose on their own 35-yard line. Sipe waiting for everyone to get set, and they'll go with a run to the right side. Flag on the play, and the plays will finally stop as the man who started the conversation gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we're talking avoiding bacon talk while we're talking about different bacon content with Jay-Z getting a run here, but looks to be clipping perhaps. Yeah, that's how we're going to see it there.
Howard Hines gets tagged with the infraction.
Yeah, that's going to set San Jose back a little bit there, and now Albuquerque is going to have a little bit favorable position. Maybe it's time for Jordan Sipe to kind of sling that football. They're going to go trips to the bottom here.
Backward, a boatload of yards, the 20-yard line. Sipe going to have to try and make it up in a hurry as he throws into a sea of green and white, and it falls incomplete, but back to the line they go.
Geez, that's an interesting decision to go hurry up on an incompletion.
2nd and 25. Sipe just throws it underneath him. They go backwards a little bit, picks up a couple, does DJ Bandit. And that's going to be, well, we'll talk about here in a second. 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, we're talking about 3rd and the separation between Saskatoon and Winnipeg at this point. It's going to be an 8-hour drive just for San Jose to get this first down here, but you got to go for it. You got to get a long play out of this, maybe a deep pass.
3rd in the distance to Sacramento for San Jose as they pass left side. Good stiff arm from Jay Viper, but he's well short of the first down, but a good play all the same.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of hope there as Jay Viper kind of just turned on the Jets a little bit there. It looked like he was maybe going to get past Don Fletcher, but Fletcher managed to just push him out of bounds and basically get him to a net 0 out of that ensuing set of downs and force San Jose to punt the football back to them with 3 and some change left here in the second.
Aaron Lynn, the punter for the flight, gets this one away to Ed Williams, who will try and make a return. Can't shake out of that one. It's taken down at the 34-yard line. Just because it's the SFL offseason doesn't mean content creators aren't still pumping out great content around the league. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker. Say it with your chest, Netma, and of course the show all about the minors, flight, fights, and insights. Check out archived versions of community shows. Visit simulationfl.net. Check the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. And speaking of fights and insights, we'll talk about them in just a moment. Pass over the middle is flat out dropped by Westlake and had that brilliant catch earlier. Just nothing doing this time around. Let's go back to fights and insights. They just revealed their SFLm Prospect Bowl come out. And congratulations to everyone who made that. That Prospect Bowl will be appearing on Axel Raven's channel, aka the home of Fights and Insights.
Well, that's going to be a little bit fun for the SFLm players here, getting a little bit extra action with the Prospect Bowl there, and get themselves a little bit more exposure heading into the draft coming in 2 weeks.
2nd and 10 now from the 34 here in Albuquerque. And up through the middle and hit hard. Rob Foraker comes up the middle and denies Scott any chance of getting downfield.
Yeah, and that's what San Jose needs to do here to stop the bleeding from Albuquerque, as they've had a ton of success here in this first half, and that's basically stop them right at the spot. That's a good start there. Now 3rd and 10.
We're wide. They're on 3rd and 10. Blanton has time, looking to the right side, and just again, with some excellent touch, finds Williams for another good grab and another Adams first down.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Savon Watson, because he was really looking just to deflect that football, but he was just maybe a yard or two too far ahead, trying to get that deflection. But again, Albuquerque doing a great job. Terrell's Blanton in specific, just a great job arcing that throw over the secondary member and get that first down.
High formation, as Blanton doesn't like what he sees from the 4-3 defense, and he takes a big 7-step drop, looking over the middle.
Wow.
And down the field near the 25-yard line, and again they're exploding the middle of the park and getting another first down, this time to Crystal.
And yeah, Trellis Blanton saw the corners go deep and sag off, and he said, you know what, I'm going to change up this play. I'm going to challenge you guys, as TT Crystal did a fantastic job just with a great cut, change of direction, posting down the middle. And as you saw, Braylon King Moore, once again, just a little bit too far behind, or too far ahead, and that leads to the open pass. 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning here in New Mexico. The hometown Adams with a 14-point lead. You're watching the SFLm on YouTube. Two minutes to go here in the first half of action. Tyler Falk alongside my best friend from north the border, Brett Killian, as we're 2 minutes away from halftime, as only the 3rd or 4th penalty of the ball game will be called, but it won't matter, as Crystal finds a really good acre of space to run for and will pick up the first down. Let's get the official call from our 62.
And that's what we kind of expected there, as we saw the jump. Easy decline for the Adams, as they continue to just have their way with San Jose's defense right now. It seems like Trellis Blanton, he's just reading this defense perfectly right now, and he's slinging rocks. He must be over 80% on his completion rate right now, just really outclassing Jordan Sipe here in this first half.
Luis Negron made a couple of big plays early in the ball game, was tagged with that penalty, and that'll set up Albuquerque in the red zone. They have been perfect here in the under 20-yard marker, 2 of 2 with 2 touchdowns. Pass over the middle, and they already get right back into the end zone. Touchdown, Albuquerque. It's the tailback, Blue Scott, with the receiving touchdown.
And again, share the wealth, share the love from this Albuquerque Adams squad, making San Jose's defense guess where that football is going to go. This time they go with the tailback on a little zigzag, going to the inside, and just left wide open. Completely forgot about him until he got to the 2-yard line, and it was too late. Scott was going to find herself in the end zone, and there you have it. Again, Albuquerque scoring just before the end of the first half, increasing their point total to possibly 28 here.
This is a complete reversal of the script from their week 1 contest, as Malelio kicks that one home 28-7. And again, playoff seeding is already official, but Albuquerque showing that they are coming off they can keep their win streak alive with the victory today after falling 0-3 through their first 3 weeks of play. They have really turned it on in a heartbeat here the last few weeks and have really deserved their victories. And again, they've been playing tough, they've been playing smart, and they've been playing for the mismatch. That's how we see a very vaunted scoreline, as Wade gets it up to the 26-yard line, and it'll be about minute 46 for San Jose to work with. They've got a lot of work to do, Brett.
Yeah, and if I were Annapolis, I'd be watching just this first half alone from Albuquerque, just figuring out what they've done right to get themselves scoring 28 points against a 7-0 San Jose team that has almost looked untouchable throughout the entire season. This has been an amazing job by this Albuquerque coaching staff.
Out of the box, and they will get to Jay-Z Bacon in the backfield. Loss of one on the play as the Adams hit home. Jason Peace, along with the defensive tackle Tim House, getting through the middle of the line.
Yeah, it just seems like all systems go, all systems working here for this Albuquerque defense. They've really stepped things up here in the second quarter, really limiting the options of the running game and continuing to stifle that run team.
Left side, caught, taken with a lot of room to run, quickly closed down after picking up 5, and San Jose call a timeout. They've only taken off about 36 seconds of the clock, and will only have 1 remaining after trying to challenge what was an excellent catch by Ed Williams earlier in the ballgame.
Yeah, and San Jose, like, they did have a successful drive here, and it looked like there was finally life being breathed in to this flight squad, but 2 touchdowns in succession for Albuquerque has left them a little bit behind in the dust. They need to wake up again.
Out near side, caught by Terrell Cooper as he turns upfield, gets hit out of bounds, which will stop the clock. Great running from Cooper. He has been a lightning rod and a good pairing for these 2 wide receivers. Viper and Cooper have really stood out so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it seems like both of them have really just peaked up a little bit here in the second quarter and have started making really good catches, great catches and runs. We've seen it from Viper a few times early in this quarter already, but Cooper finally getting a little bit of love here and getting a big gain for a first down.
About how Viper was the number 5 receiver, all told. Cooper also in that top 10 as Albuquerque send a blitz and a sidearm wobbler sling that somehow finds its target, and it's a good catch off a wobbly pass to the 34-yard line.
And I don't think I've ever seen a sidearm wobble duck of a throw. But Jordan Sipe, he manages still to find his mark, and DJ Bandit leaps up and grabs the catch. Another first down for San Jose. This is what they've needed all game.
Well, it must be rabbit season because it's not duck season as San Jose keep the drive alive. 4 wide receivers, trips off to Sipe's left. Sipe going to look to throw under pressure. Down he goes. Folded like a lawn chair. Loss of 2 yards on the sack as it's picked up by Moses Talloway as they go back to the line in a hurry. 47 seconds to go. Sipe lofts one into coverage.
Oh boy!
Up going the other way. Dante Grimm with a pick, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Interceptors comes through. This time in Albuquerque colors, and Albuquerque take over.
And that very questionable decision made there from Jordan Sipe, as that was basically a perfect one-on-one defense from Dante Grimm, and he manages to grab the football on the second bobble and get himself an interception here. The Federal Bureau of Interceptions is alive and well here in New Mexico, and Albuquerque back with the rock with 39 seconds left. Can they make them pay?
And all 3 timeouts as well. Blanton. Deep shot, right side. They nearly give it right back. Whoa, that was mighty dangerous, friend, as Skinny Washington could have had a pick.
Yeah, they were going for pay dirt early here, really trying to make San Jose pay. And whoo-wee, my heart probably raced a little bit there, as like I was thinking in my head, are Albuquerque really gonna try to throw this down the gullet of San Jose here? But good coverage from the corner there. Amazing work.
Said they're going to go with a run to Scott, right side, gets a couple of blocks, and still going is Scott. Only 5 yards as they go back to the line here on 3rd down. Still have all 3 timeouts as they tick under 25 seconds.
A little interesting.
Might change the play. They're just going to run it again, right side, as Scott gets taken down at about the 40-yard line, and that will do it for the first half of play. Albuquerque with all the momentum, currently 28-7 as we head to the end of the first half. And partner, just quickly, Albuquerque has really really impressed almost everybody. The flight have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, it just seems like all facets of Albuquerque's game, offensively and defensively, we've been seeing great running from Baloo Scott. Trellis Blanton has been an absolute highlight reel in the first half, and the defense, both run stuffing and defending the pass, doing a fantastic job.
Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Adams leading 28-7, and a couple of shout-outs. We know we've already mentioned a couple of newcomers. Craig Westlake on the field for the first time, Mike Wagner, and a couple other new guys in chat. Happy to have you. Great to see you. Welcome to the league, as the return from Way gets the 25-yard line. And now on comes Sipe after throwing the interception late on in that first half. They've got 21 points to make up. They've still got 2 quarters of play to do it.
Yeah, and I think Jordan Sipe has to play a near-perfect second half if he wants to break that highest passer rating as well, coming into this game at 97.1, just 1.7 away from Johnny Reno's record.
In the box, Sipe in trouble again, and down he goes. Loss of 4 on the play as they get to him in the backfield as Tim House sends the house.
And, you know, as much as we've praised success throughout San Jose's season, the one thing they haven't done really well is protect that quarterback. Now it's the 24th time Jordan Sipe has been sacked this season, which is the most in the league.
Coverage backs off as San Jose go with a trips formation. Sipe looking to the right side in the direction of the trips. That is caught, turning upfield. Nice little spin move on the play as they're able to pick up a huge chunk of yards and get about 9 yards. Azariah Way on the reception.
Yeah, and again, it's the San Jose wide receiving core that's doing a great job of catching it, finding the extra space, and just running a little bit extra yards. This time gets a spin move, just spins the shoelaces out of Cody Holland there, and gets himself very, very close to the first down marker.
Third and maybe less than a yard. As Sipe is going to look to throw, looking near side for the tailback, Bacon, and Bacon will pick up the Bacon and the yards. First down, San Jose.
Very interesting from the main blocker, Clinton Wilkerson, to not help out on that block to give Bacon maybe a couple extra yards, but maybe just relied on his speed just to get to that first down marker. Nonetheless, it still works out for San Jose. First down for them.
Offset single back with 3 wide receivers as the corners play bump on the line. 5-step drop from Sipe, looking over the middle. That one's picked up, going the other way in a hurry. My goodness, it's Cody Holland, and that's the second pick in as many drives for the Adams.
And how about a quick turnaround for Cody Holland as he got spun out of his boots from Azariah Way just 2 plays ago, and this time he's just in the right spot. Sipe underthrows it a little bit, and it just manages to grab to his hands, and Albuquerque once again quickly in enemy territory grabbing this football. It is their time to shine here.
Albuquerque giving the flight lots to think about as we go into the playoffs. The number 1 seed, San Jose Flight, be scratching their heads a little bit tonight as Scott gets the play out of the backfield on the nice pitch and catch, gets about 4 yards before being stopped, and that's starting to get closer and closer to being an Albuquerque victory if things continue as they are, partner. But if I'm San Jose, there's a lot I have to look at in terms of how we're going to play next week's semifinal game.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting how San Jose approaches this the rest of the game, and if they do get the L on this board, how much work are they going to do in practice?
Jump off near side for Scott. Scott gets hit out of bounds hard by Skinny Washington. Another week 8 signing.
Yeah, and that's 3 if I'm not mistaken, week 8 signings, all on the defensive end for San Jose. We saw Skinny Washington, Will Stern, and we have seen Mike Wagner make a little bit of an impact as well for San Jose. But right now, allowing 28 points, not good for this defense.
Clamp down here in the second half. Blanton time steps up into the pressure, and down he goes. A Singletary, who had been calling out his name in the chat, he gets on the board with his first sack of his career.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for him there as he finally gets on the board. Maybe a little bit of a mistake for Trellis Blanton to maybe stay too long in that pocket. Maybe should have thrown that football either out of bounds or maybe just aim for one of his receivers, but he just stayed too long, and that's what happened on the sack.
So now it's Mickey Malelio to try and tack home 3 on his longest field goal attempt of the day. The last couple have only been extra points. And that one sneaks through for 47 yards, and it's 31-7.
Yeah, and again, Albuquerque taking advantage of the interception, gaining a couple yards, and setting up a good field position for Malillo to get that 47-yarder just squeaking through. And again, that is, if I'm not mistaken, that is 17 unanswered points from Albuquerque.
Oh, will get us going once again. Way to try and set his team up in guild field position on the return. Starting from the 10-yard line, trying to angle himself right into the teeth of the kicking team, and he goes nowhere. His best return of the day, it must be said, to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, if you're San Jose here, you definitely need to get this drive, turn things around from the interception, just get some points on the board, whether it be a short field goal or a touchdown. Just get on the board at least, get that momentum going, get that flight train started a little bit here in the second half.
Flight train or plane, my friend? We'll have to figure that out here in a second. As Sipe tried to get it away, pumped once, pumped one too many times, and down he goes again. Sack number 3 today, and it's Talloway who comes up with this one.
Yeah, and that's not what San Jose needs there. They're probably going to rely a lot more on this passing game and get Jordan Sipe involved, but that offensive line needs to get that protection, get a big enough of a pocket so Sipe can throw that football.
Sipe's going to look to throw, pumps once again. This time gets rid of it. It's tipped, and it'll fall incomplete mercifully.
And you could tell Jack Snook was just waiting to grab that bobbled ball. He was so close. Just seeing him run after it, just a great job from a Singletary to just get his hands on that football, knowing that he was just a few yards ahead of the receiver. So great job again from this linebacking and secondary core to stifle this passing game for San Jose.
That'd be something. Collecting a sack and an interception in your first game here in the minor league. Sipe gonna look to throw. Now looking over the middle. It's a nice one-handed catch, but 5 yards short of the sticks, however. And that is 4th down. Quick 3 and out for the flight. Not what they needed, but it's better than a pick.
And again, great job from the secondary, basically defending the deep receivers, knowing that they needed a first down. So Sipe was resorted to throwing to his check down option on the 5-yard in route to Vern Zales. I'm getting the names mixed up. It's crazy here. But nonetheless, yeah, another 3 and out here for San Jose.
Punt is on its way from Bennington. No pressure this time around as, oh my goodness, Williams nearly got his head taken off.
Yeah, and San Jose's kind of got red in their eyes, maybe looking for a little bit of blood out there as they're down big. They definitely want to take a chunk out of Albuquerque at this point, even if there's still a chance to win this game. Maybe demoralize this Adams squad from scoring any more points.
Down. Go with the run left side for Scott, cutting through the offensive line, picking up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Esports TV has partnered with the SFL to bring sim football to millions of homes over the next 2 years. ESTV is the world's first 24/7 live, linear, and video on demand esports channel available everywhere through your smart TV, on your phone, through Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. Visit ESTV.co to learn more about its programming and to find all the ways you can catch the SFL on the network. Land takes a deep drop, looking for the out route, left side. Crystal hauls that in and falls out of bounds, picking up another chunk of yards for the Adams.
And those out routes are really working for Albuquerque right now because the secondary is sagging back so much. Even when they're in tight coverage, they fall back so much on the ensuing plays. So those short to medium out routes are just ripe for the picking for Trellis Blanton. He's definitely taking opportunity of that as the receivers get those nice sideline catches.
Split backfield with 2 wide receivers here on 3rd and short. Blanton takes a 5-step drop, dumps it off in the underneath route. Nothing doing. A lot of room to run for Stellar. He can't get it. Back to the line of scrimmage. Great containment from San Jose, and it's 4th down.
There you go, San Jose. That's step 1 into getting back in this game, getting a 3 and out of your own, getting the football back from Albuquerque. Now the next step is capitalize on it. Let's see if they can do that.
Bennington will try and punt this one away here for the Adams. Pressure sent by San Jose, but the punt is away. 2-way from the 30-yard line. He gets hit hard by Dante Grimm and company. Minimal gain on the return, maybe a yard or 2 to the 32, and San Jose retakes the field on offense.
And even then, the 32-yard line is still pretty decent field position to start off any drive here. 68 almost nice yards to get to the end zone. And Jordan Sipe really needs to wake up here. You've had 2.5 quarters to wake up, but now it's time to show out.
Just over 16 minutes of regulation left to go, and you got to find a bunch of points. Sipe under pressure, sidearms in, and almost right into the waiting arms of Jack Snook.
Yeah, and that's the direct result of the offensive line giving no help to Sipe, as he basically had such a small time window to throw that football. As you can see, for the offensive linemen getting overwhelmed by the defensive players. And it was quick decision-making almost costed Sipe another interception.
3-3 nickel here from Albuquerque to try and counter a 4-wide set. Sipe over the right side, nothing doing. Looking for the fullback, Rivera, as it falls incomplete. 3rd down.
And it's this amazing pressure from the defensive line of Albuquerque. Again, Jordan Sipe had little time to throw that football, and he had to rush that ball through, as he saw there was literally no pocket as he backed up, this time going shotgun to hope that he has a little bit more time to throw it.
Time look for an Albuquerque. Looks to be a zone. As Sipe looks to try and fire into the zone right side, and that's knocked aside. Great coverage from Liam Ryan, a 2-way player out of Mexico City, and it's a quick 3 and out for the flight.
Yeah, and it seems like the offensive line just failed Jordan Sipe that entire drive. Just all 3 plays, it felt like all the throws were rushed. This time, maybe a little bit of extra space on that shotgun setup. Had enough of opportunity, but just no going for San Jose on this drive, as Albuquerque now is going to get that football back again.
Punts away from Aaron Lynn to Chad Williams. He gets stood up at the 30, then blasted backward, and it'll give him forward progress to the 30-yard line. The SFL's minor league, SFLm, is how you, the viewers, can get involved in the action. Create a player today to begin your professional football journey through our website at simulationfl.net. And check out this season's class of over 100 rookies getting called up to the pros during the next rookie draft. Live next weekend on SFL YouTube. The SFL, where the viewers are the superstars. Swing pass to the side for Blue Scott. She gets 2 yards to the 32-yard line. We take a look at the only game that matters for playoff seeding tonight, or remaining, I should say. It's all tied up, partner.
Yeah, Christian Pierce makes the 2-point conversion with 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Lexington ties it 21 apiece.
Ethan Muslin and Eddie Gage over on that call. Glad to have you here in New Mexico. Tyler Falk alongside Brett Killian. I should say Brett Solberg, but tomato, the pass over the middle. It's a repeat performance for Honest Adobe, and oh my goodness, Blanton is on fire tonight.
Yeah, he's really. I think he knew there was a couple scouts in this game that were looking to scout Jordan Sipe in specific, and he's just deciding to ball out here as he's been throwing absolute dots all game. This one probably the best of his bunch, as he was throwing in double coverage and manages to find Adobe there. What a great throw.
3 wideouts in an I formation, handoff Scott through the middle. She gets stood up after picking up about 5 yards and no further.
Yeah, and that's going to be a successful play for Albuquerque there. Blue Scott got her yards there, good 5 yards. Anything above 3 or 4 on a run play, they would consider a successful play. They're going to set up a second and medium situation, a wide open playbook. They can do whatever at this point.
Flicks the tight end off to the left of the line and go back to the I formation. 2nd and 5, another ISO and an I formation. This time it'll go backward a yard. Good penetration through the middle of the line of scrimmage. Give the play another tackle for loss as Stan Diamond comes to.
Yeah, and Diamond just found the right hole to kind of run through there and got to Scott right away, and that was a quick loss. But 3rd and 6, it's going to be decision time for both teams.
Left for Albuquerque. Quick drop. Pass over the middle. Caught, first down and more. It's the new tight end, Craig Westlake, picking up the first.
Yeah, and he's had a couple catches in this game here, kind of just, again, with that Patton and Albuquerque spread the love or spread the radiation, I guess you could say, for Albuquerque. I'm not sure, maybe patent pending, let's call that. But nonetheless, Westlake, again, getting a nice catch, moving the chains, and that's the big thing here for Albuquerque as they look to combine shed the clock as well as make that San Jose defense pay.
Stretch play near side. Scott with a hole. Near
space.
Side is a good run from Blue Scott. She picks up about 12.
Yeah, and that again, when you bring the corners deep, when you sag them off a little bit, it's going to leave space for the running back to basically just run through no matter what. You have to rely on your linebackers to guess which side Blue Scott's going to go. She went right, they went left. It ended up being a very, very big play for Albuquerque and moving that San Jose defense back even further closer to their end zone.
That only happens if you set the edge, which the tight end and tackle did. As the handoff to Scott goes left of the line of scrimmage, picks up about 4 as Scott is averaging just under 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, and that's all they really need is just 3 to 4 yards per carry from their running backs to move the football forward, as it seems like they can really do anything they want with this passing game. Trellis Blanton continuing to shine here, well over 80% at this point.
To milk the clock. Blanton now going to throw, looks for Scott out of the backfield, and Scott running toward the sticks. Tackled just a yard shy, 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's a great job by the tackler there to stop him right before she got to the first down marker and forcing Albuquerque again to really decide, what they're going to go on this 3rd down here. They've got 2 fullbacks here, so they might go run on this.
Will through the middle. Scott, they will give it to her. She paid the price up the middle, but they will give it to her at the 11-yard line. First down, Albuquerque.
And that is all effort from the offensive line to split the gap and try to give Scott enough space to run through with the 2 fullbacks going in before her to get any blockers, and it was just enough to get that first down.
The 11-yard line of San Jose. A run left side with Scott. Couple of blocks, not as proficient enough this time as they were on the play a couple plays ago on more of an identical run, but still picks up about 4 yards.
Yeah, and that's all they need. 3, 4, 5 yards. That'll be a success for them. Being so close, they don't mind if it's a field goal at the end of this rate as we end the 3rd quarter here.
It's your 4s and 86s up in chat. It's the Adams with the lead, 31-7, as we're 1 quarter away from heading to the playoffs. Welcome back to the SFLm on YouTube. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Brett Killian. 1 more quarter to play here in the season 5 of the minor leagues regular season. Handoff Scott, still fighting forward. Gets closer to the goal line. She'll be marked down at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, just kind of seeing what kind of strength Blue Scott has here. Maybe a little bit of a showcase as we start the 4th quarter. Are they going to go with a 3rd straight run up the gut for Blue Scott here on this 3rd and 2?
Offside call. The play won't matter, possibly. Getting close to the first down marker is Scott. Maybe just a yard shy. No signal yet. Let's get the call from RCQ2. Maybe it's a free first down.
We might see a free first down out of this.
Number 54, defense.
They'll tag Greg Ward, the defensive end, and they will accept the penalty, which I believe will also give him a first down. No. Surprisingly, no. 3rd and inches.
It looks like with that neutral zone infraction, they're going to go half the distance to the goal line, which pushes them just a little bit behind the 2-yard line and get them in a 3rd and inches scenario. This might be prime opportunity to go with that play again.
Oh, let's go right up the middle of Scott. Nothing doing. Untouched. Touchdown. Albuquerque, and they continue to pour it on.
Yeah, and they're really making that San Jose defense really work for it here. That last kind of, I would say, 5, 6, 7 plays was all focused on Baloo Scott, and she did what she needed to do, and it ended up getting a touchdown for Albuquerque as they inched even closer to making this way out of reach for San Jose. Now a 30-point lead. Extra point could make it 31.
Again, these two teams met in week 1. Albuquerque 13, San Jose 44. Swap places or something. Oh, kick is up and it is good, and it's a 31-point advantage for the home team in Albuquerque's neon and black. The 8 p.m. music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. And way on the return, looking to make something happen and reinvigorate the San Jose, well, I should say their entire ball club, as they're only able to get up to the 24, and San Jose's unbeaten season, their perfect season, looking to go out the door. But we know anything in the SFL. Anything can happen. This would be the largest comeback in SFL history. Not just the minor league, but the pros as well. It all has to start with a solid opening drive. Type, quick drop, out route, left side, caught by Viper heading out of bounds after picking up 4.
Yeah, and kind of start a little bit just to get that train going, getting it to Jay Viper, who has been pretty reliable as a wide receiver for the San Jose crew. And yeah, start over there, see if they can get that train going, get some points on the board.
Second down here for San Jose. 2 backs in the backfield with 2 wide receivers. 5-step drop pass left side, maybe led a little bit too far for his intended target, incomplete.
Yeah, and that's with those sideline catches, you have to be really sure that you time yourself with those throws so the receivers don't fall out of bounds. Sometimes you can miss it by just a little bit, and the receiver will just run a little bit too far. It's still trying to skid those feet to the sideline, still miss it. Just a very unfortunate play from the San Jose offense.
Trying not to go 3 and out again tonight. Side quick drop pass over the middle, and they convert on 3rd down for the first time in what has been a while, as Way hauls that one in for the first.
Yeah, that's a big one there, just to get that first down. Maybe that'll start things going for San Jose, as it's been very much a weary third quarter that saw 2 key interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, in that quarter. And they just really need to turn things around here.
It's up 200 yards for Sipe up to this point. Very uncharacteristic play. Now looking over the middle. That'll cross the 200-yard marker as they find DJ Bandit for a back-to-back first down.
Yeah, and it seems like Albuquerque's kind of sagging off a little bit here, maybe giving San Jose a couple open options as Bandit does get himself open there. Yeah, and that's what San Jose needs. They just need to continue getting first downs and try to get to this end zone.
That ends off to the right with the split backfield again. Only 1 true wide receiver. Sipe's going to look to throw under pressure. Does get it off near side, in and out of the hands of his intended target tight end, Clinton Wilkerson. Great hit by Liam Ryan.
Very good hit from Liam Ryan to just knock that ball loose. There's that small kind of window time between catch and gather that any defensive player has to make a decision on where to tackle, see if they bobble the football loose, and Liam Ryan did a great job of that.
And it's 30 seconds to go as the pass over the middle somehow finds Jay Viper. Just pickpocketed the defender almost. He picks up a third straight first down.
Yeah, you said it. It looked like it was just going to go right off the lower back of Jason Peace, but the catch still manages to happen, and more importantly, another first down for San Jose as they're really starting to roll on this drive.
Off near side. Macon looking for a hole. Gets about 4 yards before Dante Grimm and company wrap him up.
Yeah, and the Albuquerque run defense, more specifically, has really been on point for them. Just maybe a little bit of a slip as they had an opportunity to stop him at the line. They don't get to JZ Bacon, and he gets a decent 4 yards out of it.
Single high safety here on second down. With a run through the middle, Bacon finds a crease and finds enough room to run for the first down as the clock now ticks under 7.5 to go. This drive already taken over 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it almost seems like San Jose possibly have conceded this game and really just looking to perfect their playbook, but there's still plenty of time to go to see if you can try to make a comeback here. Even though it is 31 points, anything is possible, like you said earlier, Tyler, in the SFL and the SFLm. So I would have expected a hurry up offense.
Under pressure, can't get that one away, and he goes backwards about 4 yards. A great tackle from the defensive end, Anthony Story.
Yeah, and if you're Lexington or Ottawa at this point, you really have to look at your passing defense, your pass rush, and you have to see how many times, just in this game alone, that San Jose's offensive line has exposed Jordan Sipe. That is the 4th time that he's been sacked in this game, and he's probably got some bumps and bruises on him here.
Step drop from Sipe, looking for the comeback routes. Got him. Terrell Cooper, but we'll go right back toward the line of scrimmage. Only a pickup of 2. Liam Ryan, we've called his name a couple of times now, is able to come up with a stop.
Yeah, and you definitely see a couple of extra players on that Albuquerque side making a couple extra plays there. We've said Jack Snook a couple of times throughout this 4th quarter. He's been stepping up pretty big for that defense.
Quick drop, slant pattern over the middle on 3rd and long, and that play usually goes for about 7, 8, maybe 10 yards if you're lucky, but Albuquerque clamped down on that one, 4th and 5.
Yeah, that just looked like a concession play from San Jose just to get into a decent field goal range from Mickey Malillo to turn that 50-yarder to what looks to be a 46-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not too bad, but it's still going to be a heck of a leg to kick.
A little over on Albuquerque. I believe that's Jackson Cannon still out there. As
got me.
Up and good from 43. And it's a 38-10 ball game here in Albuquerque.
When you're looking at 2 sets of rosters, sometimes you kind of get mixed with the names. So I apologize for the kicker there for Cannon to mistake him for Mickey Malillo, and that's just my mistake. But nonetheless, San Jose gets some points on the board. It's a little bit of reward there. I know they wanted the touchdown, but definitely don't give up here with 5.5.
Well, I forgive you, partner. I did call you out of hibernation to come back into the booth and call a game with me. So all's forgiven. Ed Williams on the return gets to the 30-yard line, and no further as Albuquerque will come back out on offense. And partner, I can't wait to call a game with you. I think you said you're probably not going to be able to make the convention, but maybe in week 2 we'll be able to call another SFL game together, or maybe even next week for playoffs.
It's such a shame because I'm on a 2-month wait list for my passport, so I can't even get to the convention on time. But we're going to have plenty of opportunities here in the following SFL season to definitely get going on commentary.
Absolutely. Albuquerque trying to milk this clock try to stretch the field with Scott, and nothing doing, tackled at the line of scrimmage by
Yeah,
Brian James.
and it's a great job from the defense there of San Jose, knowing that they're going to probably run the football and definitely shed this clock. So the main goal here is to turn those runs into net zero or negative yardage, get that football back. It's simple science.
High formation, 2nd and 10. And now Scott, this time a much better run here for Albuquerque. Only 4 yards this time, puts them in much better field position here on 3rd down.
It's a good burst of speed from Baloo Scott there. We've seen a lot of great decision-making from her early in this game. This time we're seeing a little bit of that speed, that illustrious speed that the scouts look for when looking for running backs. And I know a couple teams in the SFL are still looking for those second string or even starting running backs. So this is a good sign for her.
I actually have a list that might help us with that here in just a second. They hand off to Scott, goes backward a yard, and that'll be a 3 and out here for Albuquerque. They'll have to punt this one away.
Yeah, and a good job from San Jose to get this football back here and maybe see if they can get into a good field position depending on how this punt goes. But for San Jose, this is another opportunity to chip into this lead a little bit more and get a few more points, a little bit more of like redemption points, as you can say, to end the season.
As Ralph Bennington punts this one away. Back to your point on a couple of teams still looking for their starting tailback. Motor City, San Diego, Sioux Falls, still without a tailback on the roster for season 19. But as we saw from Louisiana a season ago, partner, some teams might want to go 2 backs this time around.
Yeah, they might be stealing from a Louisiana playbook and perhaps see if they can go with a 2-back system with, if I'm not mistaken, it was Randy Squarebush and Colin Hart for you guys, was it not?
It was. Colin Hart now goes over to Minnesota. Soft spot there, if I don't say so.
Oh, you turncoat.
And Sipe looking over the middle. Nice pass. Good spin over. Down he goes.
Stuff.
He's loose.
Good stuff.
Azariah Way is the way to San Jose getting back on the board.
As some people would say in 2015 in a certain VR chat, do you know the way? Azariah knows the way, and that is to pay dirt. Quick 6 for San Jose, and that is the life that they needed about 25 minutes ago, but they still get the points, and maybe a little bit of life here to maybe chip back into this lead if they continue getting these one play touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a chance that San Jose can still get this dub. There's still some hope.
I'll one up your pop culture reference with another one. This is the way.
Oh boy.
San Jose going to look to play smart and pick the extra point via the way of Jackson Cannon. 3:21 to go. Still a lot of football left to play. And if they can make a quick strike, maybe force a couple of turnovers, you never know. Never know here in the SFL. Kick is up from Cannon and good. 38-17 the score line here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Monday, June 20th, right here on SFL YouTube. A big night for rookies and veteran players alike. First, at 7 p.m. Eastern, the SFL All-Stars will take to the field, give one last nod to the best players from Season 18 before both SFLm semifinals will air at 9 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss this doubleheader next Monday, June 20th, right here on SFL YouTube, and the onside kick goes to the Albuquerque Adams, and they will start on the 35 of San Jose. And just like that, Tacoma beats Lexington, which I believe means that Ottawa is in the playoffs at the number 4 seed. So congratulations to the Cavalry. After beating Lincoln, they had to hope Tacoma came through for them, and they do. So the playoff seeding is set. Blue Scott with a nice run to the right side, picks up 4 and back the playoffs. Number 1 seed will be San Jose. Number 2, Annapolis. With these Adams taking the win tonight, more than likely, they're the number 3 seed, and of course, Ottawa. So what that means is Ottawa will go to San Jose next week, and Albuquerque will head to Annapolis. That is your SFLm semifinal matchups in Season 5.
Yeah, and just very unfortunate for Lexington because I was actually watching this on the corner of my eye here, trying to keep both games intact there, and Lexington played a hell of a game. It just seemed like Tacoma had a response each time, and they just got one ahead of them and resulted in that victory. Playing a little bit of spoilers. Now Ottawa, the Cavalry, Canada representing. Let's go!
A homer would truly be a homer, wouldn't he? Blue Scout with an excellent run gets up the first down. And back to Ottawa. They faced, of course, San Jose earlier this season and fell just short in the dying embers of that game, losing 22-19 for San Jose. So if it's anything to go like what we've seen tonight, it's revenge match. Maybe San Jose might be the underdogs going into that football game just based on what we've seen here tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you're Ottawa here, you're definitely just gonna look at this game back and forth and read this about 20 times, and see what San Jose did wrong and see if they can exploit it even further. 2-minute warning here in the fourth quarter, as it's a very, very lopsided game here, 38-17 in favor of the Albuquerque Adams.
Adams looking to polish off this victory. Partner is Brett Solberg. I want to call your player. I want to call your player name so bad, Brett. Brett Solberg along with me here in the booth. I'm Tyler Falk. Commissioner and producer is Cameron Irvine. He's back at SFL headquarters as the backups are in for Albuquerque, and so we get to expand our play calling knowledge as John Perry comes up with a 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, and yep, backups are in, and now I have to look at the rosters one more time to see who's in, who's out, who's on the left, who's on the right, who's been replaced here, making my brain even more confused throughout the game here. Who's in, who's out, what's going on, Tyler? I don't know.
We'll have to find out together. We do know that the fullback Chuck Stiller will stay in the games. They hand out to Perry, right side. Good little move. They've gotten some really nice holes today. Both, doesn't matter if they're backups or not, they just create holes through this San Jose defensive line. That is what has really hurt them. They have allowed Albuquerque to have a decent balanced attack tonight.
Yeah, and if you have a balanced attack, it's gonna be just doom story from the start. If you let them run the football as well as get accurate passes, and it just seemed like San Jose was just half a step behind Albuquerque this whole game.
Now there near side, great blocking, gets the 10-yard line, and they will get the first down and force San Jose to call their final timeout. And Albuquerque will just salt this one away and head over to Annapolis. They're gonna go across the entire continental United States in less than a couple days and face Annapolis. But they have really played well tonight. They deserve this victory, and San Jose, unfortunately, their perfect season, well, it has a dent in it, and unfortunately, that's a loss.
And I have to think from the Albuquerque coaching staff, if I'm not mistaken, Albuquerque at one point, I want to say it was 2 or 3 seasons ago, they were undefeated themselves at 8-0, and I don't think they wanted to see San Jose go 8-0 themselves. They kind of want to preserve that perfect record for themselves. So that might have been a little bit of added motivation for the Adams, and it paid off there with 38 points, and it just seemed like a picture-perfect game offensively for Trellis, Blanton, and crew. I would say Blanton, for me at least, if we're going to go this early before we hit zeros, he's got to be my player of the game.
I absolutely agree. He had that spectacular lofted pass, the back of the end zone to Ed Williams, which put them on the board and kept the foot to the pedal and the pedal to the floor this entire ball game. It's been an excellent team victory, excellent game plan from the coaches in Albuquerque. The defense played well, forcing a couple turnovers. Dante Grimm and Cody Holland both come up with interceptions. And on top of that, it's a whole host of sacks, which was San Jose's calling card on defense for the longest time. But tonight, it's a complete reversal. Albuquerque completely dismantles what San Jose was trying to do tonight, and they come away with this fantastic victory.
Yeah, and that's definitely a positive heading forward for Albuquerque, as they're going to be underdogs heading in as the 3 seed heading to Annapolis. So this is all positives coming in, and they possibly look like a legitimate threat again to possibly win the SFLm championship. If they continue playing like this, they're gonna have a pretty easy time against both Annapolis and whoever their finals opponent is gonna be. But every game is different. No two games are usually the same, so it's gonna be interesting how Albuquerque moves forward after this.
It's 5 straight wins for the Adams. They close out the regular season with a 5-3 record, and so we take one last look at the final game of the regular season. Take a look at everything they did. That rushing total for San Jose, I didn't know it was that bad until just now. Wow.
Yeah, let's take a look at a comparison. They averaged 109.3 yards per game, and they got limited to 28. That is not even a full quarter of yards that they usually get. They were just absolutely stifled by, I would say, one of the more elite rushing defenses in the Albuquerque Adams, who only averaged 77 yards coming in, and they, again, pushing the 28, like you said. I'm pretty much as dumbfounded of as little a number that ended up being for San Jose. Just might be just an off day in the office for this flight rushing game.
You would hope so, especially as the number 1 seed coming into the playoffs. The one thing that San Jose will be more thankful for is they get home field advantage throughout. So that means if they're able to take down Ottawa at home, that means they will host the SFLm championship game in Los Angeles, and a couple other storylines for that. If things go the way for Albuquerque, they'll head over to Arizona, and that's where the championship game will be. If Annapolis beats Albuquerque and Ottawa beats San Jose, the championship game will head on over to Baltimore as we take a look at the official player of the game here in the final week of the regular season. It's Trellis Blanton. Only 6 incompletions, 311 yards, and 4 passing touchdowns. And look at that QBR, 141.8. An excellent day at the office for Trellis Blanton. For my partner, Brett Solberg, and the Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I've been Tyler Falk. We'll see you next week for the All-Star Game and the SFLm playoffs. Until then, everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Bidoo.